everyone, I am Coley's Elusive, and today I will be sharing with you the best drop locations in Fortnite, in my opinion, obviously. The first one, well, the worst one, is Lonely Lodge. Well, yeah, it has a lot of trees, a lot of mats, but it doesn't have any chests. It doesn't have players. It's just not very good in my perspective. Number 18, Lucky Landing. So a lot of you may be surprised by this, because Lucky Landing is a decent amount of chests, but all around, it's not good. It doesn't have mats, it doesn't have too many chests even. It's just not good. Number 17, Frosty Flights. So Frosty Flights is an absolutely terrible place to land. Barely any loot, barely any mats. Nobody goes there, and yeah, there's nothing else to say. Number 16, Tomato Temple. This place has mediocre loot, mediocre mats. It's not very good. Only thing saving it is the fact that it actually has a bit of loot and a bit of mats. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. No, actually, number 15 is Lazy Links, the definition of mediocre. It's basically an unnamed location stitched together. Tiny bits of mats thrown around it, tiny bits of loot. It's mediocre. It's truly mediocre. Number 14, Happy Hamlet. This place has a good amount of loot. It's just that no mats. Nobody lands there. It's a dead zone. Even though it has good loot, it's a dead zone. Nobody ever drops there. You could go there on a hot drop and only like 2 people go there. Number 13 and 12, Haunted Hills and Junk Junction. I add them together because they are so alike and they are next to each other. They have decent materials, pretty good loot, but everyone's tired of Haunted Hills and Junk Junction. Just nobody lands there. It's a dead zone, so that's why we put it high on the list, but not closer to 1. Number 11, Shifty Shafts. Shifty Shafts used to be my favorite location. It wasn't shifty, it was the mountain, but it's just a labyrinth. Little loot, not many people, and it doesn't have any mats. So, it's number 11. Number 10, Snobby Shores. Snobby is a pretty good location with decent loot for what it is, near rifts, decent mats, I guess. It's just decent for what it is, I guess. Number 9, Fatal Fields. Fatal Fields is a decent loot spot, decent loot. It's pretty good in materials, and it's pretty good with a decent amount of people dropping there. It's just that we have a lot of good things on this list, and we can't add all of them to the final cut. Number 8, Salty Springs. It has loot, I'll give it that. It also has location, but it does not have mats. If it did, it would be higher, but it isn't, and it doesn't have mats. Sorry, I guess. Number 7, Pleasant Park. Pleasant Park is good, but it's a housing district, and houses can only have 1 or 2 chests. It's crowded, and yeah, it is number 7 on this list. Number 6, Retail Row. Retail Row might seem worse than Pleasant Park, but it's more compact. has more mats is generally just a better place to be, since it's right next to Whaling, Dusty, and Paradise Palms too. It's quite literally a paradise. Number 5, Tilted Towers. Tilted Towers is the most dropped spot in Fortnite by far. Tilted Towers just doesn't have any materials. It's good in loot, it's good in location, it's just not good in materials, so that makes it number 5. Number 4, Wailing Woods. Wailing Woods in Season 6 got a huge buff, making it one of the best locations to drop in Fortnite. It's good in materials, it's good in loot, it's decent in location, it has a rift, which makes it godly, and that's what makes it number 4 on this list. Number 3, I just realized I didn't have enough numbers for this list, so Loot Lake and Dusty Divot will be the same thing. It's genius because they're both just as good. Dusty Divot is wonderful. Good loot, good mats. Loot Lake doesn't have too many mats, but it makes up in the loot. Number 2, Paradise Palms. Paradise Palms is a very high loot location with tons of mats nearby and rift spots around it. It's the perfect place to drop if there wasn't another place in the Fortnite island. Number 1, Polar Peak. Polar Peak is an amazing place if you get to know it. Lots of loot and mats if you find the right things to harvest. It is amazing. If you get glider redeploy, you can go a long time in your glider. It's the perfect place to drop, in my opinion.